For our lighting of the chalice this evening, it's an excerpt from A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Scrooge's nephew replied, "I have always thought of Christmas time, when it has come around, as a good time, a kind, forgiving, charitable, pleasant time, the only time I know of in the long calendar of the year, when men and women seem by one consent to open their shut-up hearts freely and to think of people below them as if they really were fellow passengers to the grave, and not another race of creatures bound on other journeys. And therefore, uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe that it has done me good and will do me good, and I say, God bless it."
Please join me in hymn number 253.
Merry Christmas. Thank you all for being here to celebrate with us. This morning we gathered and we told the story of a young girl against whom the whole world was set, who through her isolation and the danger to her life as a young, unwed, pregnant teenager, sang a song that toppled empire. Please greet one another with the love and conviction that your word of kindness can change a heart and even the world. Offer one another Christmas greetings.
And now for our lessons in 3 parts. The first lesson from A Christmas Carol. Oh, but he was a tight-fisted hand at the grindstone, Scrooge. Squeezing, wrenching, grasping, scraping, clutching, covetous, hard and sharp as flint, from which no steel had ever struck out generous fire, secret and self-contained. The cold within him froze his old features, nipped his pointed nose, shriveled his cheek, stiffened his gait, made his eyes red, his thin lips blue, and spoke out shrewdly in his grating voice. Nobody ever stopped him in the street to say with gladsome looks, "My dear Scrooge, how are you? When will you come to see me?" No beggars implored him to bestow a trifle. No children asked him what it was o'clock. No man or woman ever once in all his life inquired the way to such and such a place of Scrooge. But what did Scrooge care? It was the very thing he liked, to edge his way along the crowded paths of life, warning all human sympathy to keep its distance.
Please join me in hymn number 55. Dark of winter, soft and still, your quiet calm surround me. Let my
our second lesson. A Merry Christmas to us all, my dears. God bless us, which all the family re-echoed. God bless us, everyone, said Tiny Tim, the last of all. He sat very close to his father's side upon his little stool. Bob held his withered little hand in his, as if he loved the child and wished to keep him by his side and dreaded that he might be taken from him. Spirit, said Scrooge, with an interest he had never felt before, tell me if Tiny Tim will live. I see a vacant seat, replied the ghost, in the poor chimney corner, and a crutch without an owner, carefully preserved. If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, the child will die. No, no, said Scrooge. Oh, no, kind spirit. I say he will be spared. And our third lesson, also from A Christmas Carol. To Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. He became as good a friend, as good a master, and as good a man as the good old city knew. or any other good old city, town, or borough in the good old world. Some people laughed to see the alteration in him, but he let them laugh, and little heeded them, for he was wise enough to know that nothing ever happened on this globe for good at which some people did not have their fill of laughter in the outset. His own heart laughed, and that was quite enough for him.
Please join me in hymn number 245, Joy to the World.
Our Christmas Eve offering will support the Minister's Discretionary Fund, a fund that we maintain to provide emergency assistance to members and friends of this congregation and friends of friends of friends of friends, circling out all the people with whom we are connected so that we can share and support one another. Every week for months this year, need has come. And week by week, we have found ways to answer, depleting the fund and then renewing it so that we can be of support to one another. As we look towards the new year, we can imagine the cold months, and we can imagine times of difficulty, of worry, of despair. Help us meet that time with generosity and kindness and light. Let us share our gifts.
Dear Savior's birth, long lay the world in sin and error binding, till it appears and the soul felt his word. glorious morn, fall on your knees, or hear the angels' voices, or night divine, oh night when Christ was born, oh night divine, oh night, oh night divine, a thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn, fall on your knees, or hear the angels calling, or night divine, oh night when Christ was born, oh night divine, oh night, oh holy night.
These musicians have practiced so hard for so long to share their gift with us. Will you share your appreciation back? Join me in silence. such a small thing to share. The story of Christmas told down through the ages is that when we share, we give life. The choice to withhold, the choice of greed and avarice, the violence of keeping from others what will sustain life, it kills. But when we open our hands, when we open our hearts to share with one another just what we need, and all the more what brings joy, life flows from life to life, circling out into the beautiful darkness of this night. I want you to imagine tomorrow, and a gathering that will happen here tomorrow. People will come, each with a small dish of whatever their family made, or whatever they bought at the store, or whatever they had in their pantry. They will come bearing gifts like wise people on Christmas morning to sit down at a feast of their own making together. Now tomorrow, if you don't have a place to be for brunch, you are welcome to come here. If you've got something to bring and share, then bring it. And if you don't, just bring yourself. And tomorrow, if you know somebody who doesn't have a place to be, whether you're going to be here or not, you invite them to come and share in the Christmas feast that will happen here at midday. Everyone is welcome. And imagine what that room will be like. Imagine the timidity with which people will enter, the nervousness about where to place their dish and whether anybody's going to like it, and what has anybody else brought, and is it healthy and sane to eat what anybody else brings through that door? And imagine, as time passes, what will unfold. The joy and the energy and the warmth in that room. If you are listening to us tonight and you don't have a place to be tomorrow, you are invited to be here to share in a Christmas banquet. Those of you who are organizing, remind me of what time people need to come. 11 o'clock. Let the bells peal throughout the land. Come for that feast. And then imagine all of those people full to the point of vast discomfort, one by one turning out into the world, and what spirit they take with them. The meaning of Christmas is to share the very best of ourselves with one another, and for the smallest gifts to expand out in a magnitude we could not imagine. I watched it happen this week. A person who has given of themselves endlessly to others found themselves with their back against the wall, their own light dimming like to go out. And in no small amount of embarrassment and a little bit of shame and worry, they let one other person know they were in a hard time. Remember how cold it was earlier this week? I don't know why we can't make it last cold till Christmas every year. Imagine that cold if you had no heat. Imagine that if you had no food to eat. And one person said, "Here's a little." And they reached out to someone else who said, "Here's a little more." And pretty soon, this had gotten way beyond one or two people. Person after person saying, "I can help too. Let me help too." Energy and resources moving to provide, to bring warmth, to bring food, and most of all, friendship and connection. Imagine a life without warmth and nourishment. How long that life would live. Not long. We don't last long. Then imagine the light of that life welling up again. When friends come to help, and the simplest gifts, small gifts, are shared to return that light to its full fervor. Stories of Christmas go back beyond our memory. There is one favored by each of us, none the same for every one of us. But they all tell again and again that the smallest act of kindness, the smallest act of love, just to share what you have with another, generates life out into eternity. The darkness sharing its gentleness and mystery with us. The sun returning to share with us its warmth. A mother offering her child to the world. A young man willing to give his life to teach what love is. A bitten accountant, lost to greed, who awakes in the morning to a new mind and a new hope, who gives just pennies in a world of vast inequity. And more than one life is saved. Share. Share. Whatever your story is, share. And share in the measure that it will give you life too. Not just a little out of duty. Not just a little out of bad conscience. Share in the measure that you hope for life to return to you. Share with magnanimity. Share with grandeur. Share as if the light of this season could last us the whole year through. Because think of the year that comes. Turn your face to that darkness and the worries that you bear. What will your health be? Your finances? Your home? Your nation? Your family? All the uncertainty that lies before us. Think of how overwhelming it can sometimes be. And then remember the stories we tell this night. How one light and one life can illuminate the world. It seems ridiculous. It seems so small and weak. Until the light spreads and we see our way into the future. I want to invite our children who are here to join me to share the light this night.
to extinguish the chalice. Scrooge lived, and it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if any man alive possessed the knowledge. May that be truly said of us and all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us, everyone.
Seems so small in the face of the darkness of the future, all that is unknown and uncertain. But flood the world with your light. Merry Christmas.
Within the shadow